Hello race fans, welcome to another video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already and make sure to like, leave a comment and share this video with a friend. We're currently on the road to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so if you really like my content, make sure that you're subscribed. YouTube sometimes unsubscribes people randomly, so if you really like my content, make sure that you're subscribed and ring the bell to be notified about future videos. Today we will be talking about the Xfinity Bristol race. This is the third race of the Dash for Cash, remembering that we didn't have any cash bonus handed out last week at Darlington because NASCAR didn't want to interfere with Throwback Weekend. This pretty much means that the last races of the Truck and Xfinity Triple Truck Dash for Cash Challenge, they will be at Rockingham, so that's definitely something to look forward to. Something I wasn't looking forward to, however, at least with much positivity, was this race. At least not as much as I'm used to. Again, I will always tune into a Bristol race because you never know what to expect out of it. It's the epitome of short track racing. But I was concerned for a couple of reasons heading into this race. First of all, I don't think I need to remind y'all what happened last time Xfinity went to a short track. And also, just like I said when talking about the truck race, I'm not a fan of NASCAR applying PJ1 to the track. I get they want to bring back the old school feel of Bristol, but there are a couple of other ways to go about it without pigeonholing yourself into changing the racetrack. Again, 9.5 times out of 10, the racing product is not a track problem, but more of a car problem. But anyways, there was no threat of rain on Saturday, unlike the day prior, so qualifying went as scheduled. Kyle Larson started on the pole, and from the drop of the green flag, it was pretty clear he took the loss from the truck race really personal because he took off almost immediately. The only guy that could somewhat keep up was Justin Allgaier, and by keep up, I mean not fall 10 seconds behind by lap 75. I swear, if we didn't have stages, I'm pretty sure Larson would have lapped the whole field because by lap 75, only 13 cars were on the lead lap. That green flag run was unfortunately brought to a screeching halt, literally, by one of the most vicious crashes I have ever seen. Sheldon Creed got spun out by Dean Thompson in turn 4 and came to a stop right on corner exit. I don't think I need to go into detail on how dangerous that spot on the track is. And he just got clobbered by Brennan Poole. The right side of the 44 was shredded and the entire right rear wheel axle was detached from the impact. I kid you not, the first time I watched the replay, I was on edge, really hoping that that wheel axle didn't hit anyone. But thankfully, no one else was affected, other than, of course, Sheldon Creed and Brennan Poole, who were also Dash for Cash eligible. So, as I'll get into detail later, there was really not a storyline regarding the Dash for Cash. It was pretty much decided by halfway through the race. But yeah, the race was red flagged for about 15 minutes. And then, just like any showrunner would say, the show must go on. After a short sprint to the finish where Sam Mayer and Ryan Sieg used some strategy to finish 1-2 in Stage 1 with the 41 winning, Larson picked up right where he left off in Stage 2, and this time he pulled away to a larger 8-second lead, and only 11 cars were left on the lead lap by the time the stage was over. Now, Stage 3 started a bit different. By that point, the rest of the field had caught up with Larson. And by the rest of the field, I mean the junior motorsports cars. And Larson also wasn't pulling out to a half a lap lead over everyone else. Probably because he was managing the gap, but also because some lap traffic that he ran into late in the race kept the rest of the field within 1.5 seconds at the very end. That being said, I really thought Allgaier would take it to Larson for real when he got a great launch on the restart on Stage 3 and took the lead away from him. But alas, the 17 was just too good. Larson got him back a few laps later with a good old bump and run, but still, in Junior Motorsports, they ran 2, 3, 4, 5 for most of the race. And this is coming off arguably their best team effort in their history when they placed all 5 of their entries, including the part-time 9 car that Ross Chastain ran at Darlington. All 5 of their cars were top 10 at Darlington, and they probably would have stayed 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th right behind Larson if Allgaier didn't get into it with the 45 car late in the race, causing the lap car to spin, and William Sawalich, who was running in the top 10, he just arca braked the hell out of Connor Silage, taking himself out of the race. I swear, those two, Silic, Sawalic, I swear they cannot keep away from each other, because if you remember late in the race, I believe it was a Martinsville, they got into it as well. I believe it was Sawalic who got into Silic, and both of them got damaged at the end of the race. So yeah, I don't know how they keep going at each other. They just keep finding themselves next to each other, just like Denny Hamlin and Ross Chastain, or Ty Gibbs and Sam Mayer back in 2022. It's just incredible. But Silic was able to continue, but he just did not have the car to stay in the top 5 anymore with that rear end damage. He ended up dropping to 12 in the end, which was still okay. I mean, he was last car on the lead lap, while his JRM teammates, they finished second, third, and fourth behind Larson at the line, with Carson Cavapel getting the better of Allgaier in the end, because, again, lap traffic played a big part. But still, that third place finish was more than enough for Allgaier to secure that easiest Dash for Cash prize I have ever seen someone win, because Austin Hill was a complete non-factor, and of course Sheldon Creed and Burnham Poole, they had that big accident in stage 1. So that's now 2 out of 3 Dash for Cash Allgaier has won this year, and he would have been a perfect 3 for 3 if Sammy Smith didn't go full wrecking ball mode at Martinsville. But congrats to Justin regardless. This is probably the best start to a season I have seen for Justin Allgaier, with 2 wins and 7 top 5s in 9 races now. You can really tell the monkey's off his back now that he finally won the title last year, and he could very well go back to back. Also, congrats to Larson. Unlike most other fans, I always appreciate a good old domination fest. I don't care if it's a Cup regular or an Xfinity regular. That being said, I'm a bit frustrated he didn't win the truck race now, because he still would have been eligible for the triple sweep heading into the Cup race. But still, second in the truck race, winning the Xfinity race, he's definitely setting himself up to do pretty well in the Cup race. But yeah, I'll say this race was a bit better than the truck race. I guess I didn't have to worry about the Xfinity regulars turning this race into a wreckfest, because every time a Cup driver is on the field, they usually run clean. And the PJ1 didn't really affect the racing product as much as it did the truck race. Again, probably because the Xfinity cars, they just race better than the trucks or the Gen 7 Cup. Not to mention, there was a lot of rubber laid out for the Cup race, which is a good indicator of tire wear. So I'm a bit intrigued to see how the Cup race will play out. I know it won't be the same as last year, but I'm cautiously optimistic.